Michael Tash honest review of Arknights, no sponsor. Hey watching? It's not hey watching.
Hey everyone, MTast here. And for the first time in a long time, it honestly feels like the community sentiment for a video game is potentially worse than mine. Are there pain points in Arknights Enfield?
Is it? I don't know about that. I feel like at least all the public sentiment I've seen, pretty big majority that is loving the game. It's just like a very vocal minority. The community is referring to as Saint Tontas. I don't know if it's just him, because I was watching Mr. Poke and there's apparently some Arknights Enfield drama about with two creators. It's like the one dude who crashed out about dodge, and then the other dude who like thinks the way he does content is like bad or something. I don't fucking know. Stop making shit up. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Hang on. What are their names? I can no longer stay silent about Toboruo. So Toboruo, or whatever his name is the guy who crashed out saying Arknights Enfield changing dodge is like gonna be awful for the game, and that they should have just never like touched it, and then like basically stuff like that. He's the one that like didn't want the dodge change. He liked it to be like the old system, you know. So and it's holy moly, man. Like they have a live stream or something where they're like, and Poke was watching yesterday, where they just argue for like 2 hours straight. If you guys are wondering, the Tobuoro, I don't fucking know how to did I spell it right? Oh yeah. He has a video with 180,000 views that says a game for no one, a generational mistake, Arknights Enfield. I ain't watching this shit because it's an hour and 30 fucking minutes. Like his takes seem to be coming from a side of, you know how like his take seems to be very similar to be like the elitists of a gacha. You know how Honkai Impact, when Genshin Impact was coming out, like there was a lot of Honkai Impact players that when Genshin Impact was having that collab with Honkai Impact, they were like, "Oh my god, please no. Like we don't want like something similar to that," where he seems to be the type where like he has a very definitive idea on how he wants Arknights gameplay to be, not watered down like the slop mainstream games. He wants it to be like this interesting, super like constricting, like almost hard elite type of game, right? Not understanding that Hypergriff wants to make a mainstream game after Arknights, which is Arknights Enfield, and if they fucking do what Toboruo wants, it would not be a mainstream game because it would be super fucking niche. Which already is with the factory, but then he wants it to the combat to be even more niche, which is like, okay, so you want Hypergriff to just fucking fail, I guess, you know? Like, it makes no sense. Like, I get what he's saying in his points, right? It's nice to want a game to stick to its roots and stick to that style, but you have to understand when you really want to break the mainstream, you have to kind of cater to that audience, right? Like this is why if you look at PGR to WUA, if you look at Honkai Impact to Genshin, if you look like all of these, they go from a very niche audience with like, you know, probably more degen looking characters, maybe a more restrictive combat style that's maybe not as simple. And then you look at their next game, it's like way more watered down, way less like risque looking characters, stuff like that. It has to cater to a wider audience. Yes, cater to the lowest IQ people on the planet. Yeah, but that's just business, you know? Like, unfortunately, that's how it works. If you want to create a second title from a niche base, you kind of have to cater to the masses, and that's how you succeed. And then from there, look at Hoyo. They did that. They made fucking billions of dollars. Now they're pumping out titles every fucking year, which is ridiculous. But you know, clearly the formula works. Look at Kuro from PGR to WUA. WUA's making them fat bucks, and right, there's rumors of Kuro having multiple games, probably in the horizon as well. So that's probably what Griffline and Hypergriff want to do. So, yeah, but this will backfire since after the honeymoon, the combat isn't going to keep this game up. Yeah, no, I definitely think a lot of people are swept up by the honeymoon phase of Arknights Enfield. And a lot of it, I think, is the factory aspect, less so than the combat aspect. Because I think the factory, as it is right now, you will hit a point where you have nothing more to do. You're done. Everything that can be done has been done, right? And then once that point is reached, there's nothing else for you to really do besides min-max your characters, which that like really takes like what? Logging into the game for 10 minutes and then you're done. That's, so like until we get a combat endgame combat mode, like there isn't really anything to do. That's why I was talking about the fact that it feels a little weird that we are still quite a ways from the combat event. Where the fuck is the I always lose this button. Where's the shit for the event calendar? I think it's here. Yeah. So it's like very weird that they decided to put the first combat event all the way on February 12th. Chad, this is still almost 2 weeks away. And like, I don't know, man. I don't know if the people who have been hard degenning the game will have anything to do for the next week or week and a half. So, it's quite a whiles away. Now, I think if we're playing it Giga casually, I think this is a probably perfectly well-timed event because Giga casuals will probably still be working on Factory next week as well. Especially as long as they're not using blueprints, but yeah. So it's a non-issue, got it? Well, like, these are issues that I'm saying, but, like, it's hard to tell, like, exactly if it's a bad thing or if it's just a player issue, as in, like, my issue, right? Am I, or, like, are some of us running into, like, a gate or a wall in terms of things to do because we are just fucking losers that play the game too much? Or is that the average player's, experience? We don't fucking know, right? It most likely is that we're just fucking losers that play the game too much. that could be true. So I think as a sweat or tryhard, they have to be self-aware and realize you'll have downtime of doing nothing. That is okay. Yeah. So I think part of me, that's why I don't really have a gripe right now, because part of me is self-aware that I have been playing this game non-stop. Like, I'm not even kidding, chat. Like, the reason I literally log in a different spot in Enfield after I log out every stream is because I'm fucking playing it for hours before I sleep too. Like, I just play this game nonstop. So, like, legitimately, I know I'm self-aware that I'm causing my own problem. Like, if I didn't do that and probably just played a couple hours a day, I probably have tons of stuff to still do, right? But because I'm playing so much, because the game is still really fucking addicting to play, I don't know why. I haven't done exploration in a game in a million years. But right now in Enfield, it's kind of addicting to just run around and find stuff to do. I don't really know why, but yeah. Because you want to flexing? I don't know if that's really a thing, but it's just fun to do right now. And I still haven't set up the zipline infrastructure that I need to do in the other maps, which I plan to do as well. But yeah, I played this game casually. I'm still level 25, bro. Not even the first part is finished. You speedrun this game in no life. That's why. Yeah, but I'm self-aware with it, right? That's the thing. That's why I think a lot of people who are saying there's nothing to fucking do right now, they lack the self-awareness that that's kind of what happens when you binge a live service gacha game that hard, because live service gacha games kind of run out of shit to do really quick now. Enfield's even a worse case because most live service gacha games immediately come out with a combat game mode, right? Like Wuthering Waves at TOA, Genshin at Abyss, right? It just immediately has some type of endgame mode to do right away. Even HSR had fucking Memory of Chaos, but like Arknights Enfield doesn't have anything. They have that extraction game mode, but that's not really an end game. It's just literally the mobs in there are one shot. Like, they're like level 50 mobs in there. So Enfield is a very very good super casual type of fun, but it has a lot of things that will filter the mainstream audience. They probably want like the factory and gacha being horrendous, combat being etc. Yeah, but can you imagine if the combat was more like what Toburo wanted, like where the dodge didn't have the fucking time slow, and the dodge was just exactly what the old beta dodge was, which was literally just a fucking pixel perfect instant, like split second the dodge iframe. Like, brother, nobody would want to like. I think people like myself would still play it, but I think a good portion of people would have fucking drawn the line on that combat, you know? Bro, I'll be real, the game is great, but the main glaring issue is the pull economy and the gacha system. I think the pull economy issue is going to really come to the front next update. A lot of people, including myself, might not feel it now because it's released and there's so much to do. Right now, if you technically explore everything and do everything, there's enough. But what the fuck do they do next patch? Because they ain't releasing fucking 2 full regions next patch. So where the pull's gonna come from? I don't know. I don't know where the fuck they're gonna give us the pulls from next patch. If they hit us with 2 new limited characters and there's only like 1 new zone, there's gonna be nothing unless they put a fucking chest every 10 feet. Like maybe. I explored everything at the hard pitting starter, and I have a grand total of 50 pulls to my name. Well, you hard pitted, so what is that? 120, I think, right? And then 50, so 170. You have 170 pulls. I heard somewhere that if you literally got everything on this patch, I think you end up with like a total of like does anyone know the exact number? I heard it's like in higher than like 200s, but like now that's with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 areas to explore. They're not giving us 8 areas next patch. We are at most probably getting 1 or 2 more Wuling zones. It might not even, but like most likely, right? If they give us like 8 more zones next patch, I'll be like, you know what? I was wrong. Hypergriff is just locked the fuck in. They are pumping out areas. But like there's no way they could keep that up, right? So I don't know. I don't know how they could keep it up from now. Like obviously, I think the smart thing to be right now is a little bit apprehensive about the future in terms of pull economy. I think being too positive about it is a little goofy because realistically, most of the pull economy in this game is from exploration and unlocking stuff. So if you don't have all that, I don't fucking know, you know? I can see them adding events. They'd have to add a fuckload of events, man. And like, see, the issue is, it really comes down to the timing of the events too. Chat, by the time Umbral Monument comes out, Levitane's gone. Assuming next patch is... Oh, you guys can't... Oh, man, this shit's so stupid. Assuming next patch is only 2 banners, then maybe the banners will be longer. So, like, technically there will be overlap where, like, maybe if there's multiple part events, you can hit most of it in one banner, right? But we'll see. Because, like, the reality is, if you have 2 banners, you kind of want the players to have access to most of the free-to-play earnable currency within at least one of the banners, right? And also, they purposely made limited exclusive banner polls that you can't save into other future banners, which is completely fucked considering the pity doesn't carry over. I still think Hypergriff needs to fucking change one thing, is the fucking free polls that you get for rolling needs to just count for pity. But, like, I could see how it could partially be a good thing that it doesn't count, where like what if you get the character on the free pull, but that's like, I feel like once in a fucking blue moon. That is, the chances of that happening is so fucking rare. Yeah, if you guys don't know, there is a free 10 pull that you get while you roll that like you could just hit, but it doesn't count towards the pity. So technically you could have a moment where like you could get Levitane in that free 10 pull and your pity doesn't like get reset. It's like, whoa, yo, you know? But Smack won it with the free pull and kept the 120 guarantee. Yeah, like that would be the best scenario, but it's like, you know, that doesn't happen that often, you know? I got a 6-star on my free 10 pull, chat. It was just fucking Pog. So
Yes. Or they're frustrating things like the Gacha system that absolutely destroyed me? Yes. But do I think that there's also some good here that maybe is getting missed or glossed over?
Is this MTash video sponsored? It is sponsored by Ethereum Restart, so not Arknights Enfield.
Yes. I'm going to give you my honest take on the combat, on the story, on the factory, and a lot of the different things that are in this game. And I'm not going to give it an official rating or anything like that.
I'll be honest, I'm surprised that Theory Restart's still doing sponsors. I don't see anybody playing that game, at least content creator-wise. I'm sure it's still doing well because it seems to still be making money, but, like, I don't know.
But I want to talk about if I think that this is quote-unquote wrong. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by Ethereum Restart. They are making some massive changes going into the 3rd season. They've got new characters, they've got updates for both returning and check out Ethereum Restart today. Now, I can very much understand some low scores, especially in the beginning days of Arknights Enfield. I think that this game opens up incredibly poorly. I think it is extremely slow with all the tutorials, and it feels like a slog. And I was saying to my chat, the opening of the Wulin region, if they started with that, I honestly probably would have been more engaged from day one. I thought that the beginning of the game was brutal. And I also think that so much of the jargon being thrown in is confusing. It is very hard to remember all the different places and names and minerals and this and that. It feels like overload in a lot of cases. But I do think that the story got better over time. I think that the factory system got better over time. I think that the combat got better over time. And I can understand people jumping in and giving this a 2 out of 5 star rating because they didn't put any more time into it. But first impressions do matter. And the longer I played the game, the more I enjoyed it as well. So I can completely see where those people are coming from. There were many people that said I wouldn't get past the first 3 or 4 hours of this game, and they were right. It was painfully difficult for me in the early moments to enjoy myself, but I knew that I wanted to give this an honest effort, and if I didn't get to the point where I did, if I didn't level up my characters and fight some of these bosses, I really would have missed out on some good moments. Now, I'm not going to pretend that the combat system is amazing.
I mean, did we all play the same game? I feel like the first couple hours of this game, I had a great time. I don't know.
Honestly do think that when you're at a power deficit, it can...
Now, I'm coming from the perspective of someone who has played multiple betas, so, like, I guess I had a deeper understanding of the game already. So, like, maybe I don't really see it from the POV of someone who's never played the game. Maybe someone who's coming in completely blind has a different experience.
Feel a little bit boring and sloggy to fight some enemies, especially some of those shielded enemies.
You wail right out the gate, right?
And are unfun.
Yeah, and honestly, the wailing actually made my experience worse, because I got hit with two Pogs and a Li Fang. Yeah, actually, wailing made me more depressed. I think I was happier before I wailed.
To fight. However, when I started getting into some of the more advanced boss fights, I really enjoyed them. I had to dodge, and it felt way cooler. Not only was I getting more SP for dodging the honestly highly increased amount of attacks, these bosses were attacking 10 times more than the basic enemies. It felt like a completely different flow of combat, and I really liked that. And it's honestly a shame that there isn't more of those moments to get you engaged and excited in the game. They open up the game with a big boss fight. I was pretty pumped up, and then things kind of got boring for a while. You know, the pacing of this maybe wasn't the best, but once we got to the end of the first region,
I really
once
wonder
we started
what
pushing
causes
into the
you to
second
get the
region,
slow-mo
I
when you
really
down
did enjoy
this,
myself when I was playing the game. As for the factory systems, I'm not going to pretend that I'm one of the people that enjoys this. I was someone that skipped all of this. I copied blueprints from day one because in the initial building process, I did not have fun. I didn't enjoy it. I found it kind of boring, honestly, and frustrating when I would click something and I'd accidentally turn it, or, you know, it didn't feel good. But once I got everything up and running and I could start using these resources to max out my other areas and build them and expand them, I did enjoy that. And I think that for me, there's so much building. It is such a big part of the game. I don't think I would ever last on this game long term and love it and grind it and want to log in for another year, because I just feel like there's so much of this system
many of the things are just
they're
clogged.
going to have to keep doing into future regions, and I don't want to do it again. It's not enjoyable. I don't think that running the power to different areas, I don't enjoy this process at all. I think it is clunky. I find it boring. I do not find it satisfying. I know other people are trying to set up zip lines. And
I actually think the factory building aspect of this game is not clunky at all. And like the laying of the zip lines and shit, I feel like it's pretty well done. The only thing that could make the experience better is if you could fucking double jump, so you could reach whatever points you want. But like, you know.
And they like that. But for me, this is not a selling feature that would keep me engaged. But I also knew it was part of the game. And from what I can tell, there's quite a bit here. But when I see the reviews of other people, they kind of dunk on it for being basic. It's not Factorio. It's not satisfactory. It's just kind of this building mechanic that maybe isn't the deepest thing ever.
Yeah,
I think
I don't
that
think it's deep. In comparison to other factory games, this is very very straightforward. That's why but like again, I'm coming from the POV as someone who has played factory games, and that's why I like was very confused why so many people thought it was so hard. Cause I think this factory system is like extremely straightforward. You know, like it is very very shallow. Like there's not that much depth to it. Like there's only so much you can really even do, right? You're hard gated by resources because in a lot of factory games you can expand how many resources you get to like honestly infinity if you wanted to, right? But in this game you're hard gated by that, and because you're hard gated by that, there's an exact fucking point in which you cannot go any further, you know? So
no, it's fine. Once I could get everything up and running with the help of others, I enjoyed the rewards of it and being able
I
to
have over
instantly build
3K
my.
hours on Factorio, and Field Factory is so easy it kind of makes the people complaining about difficulty look stupid as fuck. Well, again, chat, this goes back to the idea that like we are just degen sweaty gamers, right? Including myself. Like the average people playing this game are not like us, right? Like, listen, I think like this tweet, even that I posted last night, like getting to this amount of views and likes is like the amount of people that just didn't realize like character order on similar trigger combos matters is like surprise. And then the amount of people that don't even know what the fuck Perlica does. I swear there's a ton of people in the replies here. They're just like, what does I just using Perlica because she seems to do big damage. What does she? They don't even know what electrification is. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, I mean, it's like, oh man, brother. It's just things like these, and also this post, man. The amount of people who hate Factory in here, or just like said like they're too dumb, so they've just been using blueprints or like shit like that, or like it's like it definitely made me realize that the average people playing Arknights and Enfield right now are like one way behind most of us playing the game right here. I think most people that are watching Twitch actively and playing games are usually more on like the try hard side, right, sweaty side than the average player. So like I think the average players are like much further behind, you know? Who cares if they don't know everything? No, that's not the point, right? I'm saying this was like good I guess a good revelation as to like where the average player is at, right? I'm not saying it's like a bad thing. It's like it's like a wake up call to me as to like around about where everybody is at, you know? Whereas like before this, I thought people were a little bit more progressed. I thought generally the average person was like having an easier time with Factory because I didn't think it was that deep. But now I'm like, average player equals Twitter user. Motherfucker, what should I do? Send out a fucking census out to people's mail to their fucking homes and fucking do a goddamn like survey? Like, what are you saying? Like, what can I do? Like, obviously Twitter is one of the easiest things I have access to. Like, what do you think I am? The government? Uh, I can't do that, so I gotta use what I have at my disposal. All right, mail-in ballots are not allowed. Oh, okay.
My characters and kind of max out their
It
gear.
sounded you were making fun because they didn't know what each character specializes in. No, it was more like, oh, that's just what the average is, right? That's why I keep saying I needed to become more self-aware as to the fact that I am a degen loser that has been playing this game too much, right? And then the average player is much more casual than that. So
But for me, this one is just not something that's going to keep my attention. If I look at the overall exploration of the world,
see, like every time MTash says that, I want to just ask him, what does keep your attention? And then this is where MTash goes, my children, my family, my wife. And I'm like, oh my God, stop making video games or video game videos, you know?
that the world was decent to explore, but I don't like the exploration in these games, period. And I don't think that it is this game's fault. I think that it is Genshin Impact's fault, Honkai Star Rail's fault, Wuthering Waves' fault. I don't think they did anything wrong here, but I find the chest finding, the crystal farming, I find this all so boring and mundane, like they're trying to pad out the game and trying to fill in this world, and I don't find it fun. I don't find it engaging, and the thought
Tebow
of
is here.
going
Thank you
to
for the 3
find more
months.
mushrooms so I can ascend my characters is borderline depressing. It tilts me because I just want to use my new weapon. I just want to max it out. I just want to do that. And I think that this is a fine world to explore. I just don't have the urge to explore it. And I think that, again, that might be just a fatigue thing on these gacha open world games, not necessarily on this, because
All right, so on that point, I am someone that has played every single one of the games Mtash has mentioned, just like him, and I did hit open world fatigue. In terms of, like, you guys know in the other games, I fucking just stopped doing exploration, right? I stopped caring. But, I don't know. Something in Enfield made me fucking grind. Like, I'm grinding open world exploration like crazy. Like, I'm literally checking every fucking corner. Again, I don't know why. So, like, you know, a honeymoon phase, 100%. But, I'm trying to think. Did I go like super hard? I guess I was super hard on exploration on Wuwa as well in the beginning. Maybe it is just honeymoon phase. Yeah. No. I did that for Wuwa as well. I did literally a 7-day fucking streamathon for Wuwa's release. So, you know, it might just be honeymoon phase. It is just surprising that Mtash doesn't even have a honeymoon phase at all with these games. Like, Mtash's honeymoon phase, I swear, lasts like 5 seconds. And then, like, the second he, like, chooses the gender of his, like, main character, he loses it. Like, I don't know.
will also say this. Having these explosives and opening up new areas, there were definitely moments of exploration that was enjoyable. I just, it's low down on the tier list of fun factor for me. I like the bosses. I like those big moments a lot more. And when I have to spend so much time doing things that I don't want, I think that it kind of taints my overall opinion of a game, even if it's not necessarily bad or wrong. I think that it's just almost an industry issue. It is a fifth game in the kind of world and genre issue. I think first mover advantage was a big thing. I think Genshin got away with it. Everyone was like climbing to the tippy top of a mountain. If there's a chest up on that hill there, I don't care. I don't care to get 10 Primo gems or Abra Skimbus gems. I don't know what they're called in this game. Originium gems. I just don't. Overall, the sentiment for this game has been mixed. There's a lot of people saying the factory must.
Given the size of Hoyo and Wuwa communities.
Maybe, I don't know. I just genuinely don't think Mtash likes video games anymore. Because I've said this every time. He legitimately doesn't have a game he likes, you know? He's quit PoE. I don't even think he plays a Destiny mobile game anymore. I don't even think he plays a Theory Restart anymore, alright? Even though he still gets sponsored by it. Like, I don't know what he plays, alright? So...
grow. There's other people that are complaining.
His review is fair so far, though. No, it's fair for like him because at this point, a lot of us have been trained to understand that Mtash just generally doesn't like games. At least he definitely doesn't like gacha games, right? But I can't really tell if he likes any other games either because I haven't seen him stick to any other game. He didn't like Where Winds Meet, which you would think would be up his alley with the boss fights and stuff, but no, he didn't like that either. So I don't really know what the fuck he likes. So I don't know.
I have this weird amalgamation of people that love it and they knew what they were getting themselves into, but then also essentially haters that, they're jumping into this game that has factories that they don't want, exploration that they don't want, and seemingly this just isn't a game that they want to play. And I can understand I am viewed as a player like that sometimes. Well, why are you playing if you don't like the game? And I completely understand that side of it. So I think that there probably are a lot of people that played this game and reviewed it poorly because they got themselves into something that they probably shouldn't have even tried in the long run. I don't like The Sims. You know, I'm not going to play The Sims. I'm not going to go download Sims 4 or Sims 5 or whatever they're on and then downvote it because it's like, I don't like building houses because, like, I'm just never going to try it. I think that because this, had a lot of hype, because it was a big game, people have known about Arknights Enfield for a long time. I think that you did have a lot of that crossover, and it caused quite a bit of kind of negativity in the first few days. Over time, it seems like the reviews are actually starting to go up, because at one point it was like 2.9, 3.1, and it is starting to climb as maybe more people that are more familiar with the genre, more familiar with the game and the world, they're starting to play the game, and maybe they're getting past those early moments that are honestly a slog to see some of those better moments. So I can see that happening. I can understand that flow. As for the gacha, I had a bad experience. I lost a lot of 50-50s. I missed the weapon banner 5 different times without getting the banner weapon. It didn't feel good. I got a lot of characters, but they weren't the ones I necessarily wanted. I could have won.
You guys watched me the other day miss the banner weapon 9 times. Because I got so many doubles in a row. I just got double after double after double, and none of them were Ardelia's weapon. Which is like, okay. Now, I got a ton of doubles, so I should accept that being lucky is good, right? That was great. But, oh, man. Can you imagine if those 9 were spread through 9 fucking,
just makes
like,
YouTube videos
I don't know.
because they need the money? It will at least be something different and keep this cycle fresh.
Well, no, this is my journey in discovering if MTash ever actually enjoys a game. So, listen. Hey, come on, man. Like, I've been on this train, okay? I feel like we're almost there. Surely, okay? Like, one of these days, he will find the game that he likes. Like, we've been on this train for years now. The video of him losing the weapon banner multiple times went viral on YouTube Shorts. The negative landscape is booming. What happened with this whole Stellasora arc? On his stream, he was doom posting it, but then on his YouTube video, he like had a more positive take. So I don't really know. Like at the end of the day, it was still sponsored. He might have just done us. I don't know. It's hard to tell because we literally tuned into MTash playing that segment, and he was not recommending the game to people. But then his YouTube video was like kind of positive. So. Gacha community defends games so fucking hard it is crazy. Any critique you make?
Wuthering Wave and Ohio share the same system, games and retard communities. I have 2 gacha games inside of me. One is a retard, and the other is a retard. Which is why they hate on other games better than them, because it will make them to quit too loud.
I mean, it goes both ways, right? If you critique the game too much, then the armies of the glazers come out. But then if you're too positive, then the armies of haters come out. It's just like you just ignore the fucking idiots.
Or lost a 50-50 to future banner characters like Gilberta and Yvonne, and I didn't. And there's all these different factors. I got all the way to pity. And then I got the character. And instead of getting a new 6-star character and then getting Lavatain after that, I just went back up to 80 pity, and it felt bad. You can feel bad winning the 50-50 because you got it too early and you can't...
See, but I don't think I'm a fence sitter on games. I think I just genuinely enjoy games. And if I stop enjoying games, I just quit. Like... I don't know. I'm not the type where, like, I feel like it's worth a damn for me to, if I stop enjoying a game, to sit there and bitch about it while I keep playing. I just fucking stop playing, bro, and move to something else. Like, I don't think, I don't really get if they're, like, unless you're, like, so passionate about the game and you wanted to improve, and that's why you're sticking with it, sure. But, like, there's very few games where, like, if I'm at the borderline of quitting, like, if I, like, really give a damn enough, you know? Like, am I ever going to, like, make a video series or like stream ranting about FGO for hours, hoping that FGO will change the system. No, I'm not, because they're never gonna fucking change. I don't give a shit about it. I just quit. You know, it doesn't fucking matter to me. I'm just gonna move to the next game and find my fun. So I don't think that's really being a fence sitter. That's just, I don't know. I just find it a lot more fun for me to use my time to find the next thing that'll make me happy than to sit there being unhappy, praying that a miracle happens and my unhappiness gets fixed within that game. So
For the weapon, you can feel bad losing the 50-50s. You can feel bad losing the 50-50.
yeah, Girls for Online 2. Same thing, Girls for Online 2. I fucking started bitching about the what is it, Gunsmoke, and then I just flat out quit. I wasn't gonna sit there and keep playing it like hoping Gunsmoke got better. It's not gonna happen, so I just fucking quit. You know, bitched about it and then left. Same thing with Uma Musume. I got tired of parent farming. Now, sure, once in a while I'll make a horse, but like I don't really actively
Are
play
you
it
happy
anymore. I just
playing
fucking
League
stop
every
playing,
night
you know?
after stream
So,
though, Ham?
yeah, no, not bad. It's like a good, nice like wind down while I'm fucking doing other stuff on the side. So
too close to the other pity, there's a lot of situations where it just doesn't feel
and
good.
then the more of the story every casual player unlocks, new build, and then play the game tutorial about, and tutorial for each building takes a lot of times, especially if you someone new for it and want to understand that, so you can't enjoy your new shiny character or your new weapon, you get it, or even the story, to be honest. Yes. You have quit more gachas than Mtashlo, bro. Yeah, but I played more than you, so I can, you know, have a better take.
And in my video, I talk about it might not be the greediest and the mathematically worst gacha system, but damn does
People
it
call it
feel
tourism
bad.
mode?
It is.
Listen,
oof,
as much as I may have quit more gacha games than Mtash has, I have had more fun playing games than I think Mtash has. Like, I legitimately think I just generally know how to have fun more. Mtash doesn't seem to very much have fun in a lot of games. I don't know. He gets like, I don't know.
it is brutal.
Maybe it's just like YouTuber mode, and he's like thinking of like YouTube video ideas, and that makes him think of like certain things that he can make a video content off of, and I'm not really thinking about that. I'm just thinking of enjoying the game, and maybe that's the discrepancy, but I don't really know. Spending money equals having fun? A lot of people will tell you spending money is fun in life. Saint, like, I don't know what you're saying. Like, huh? What do you say? That yes, a lot of people do think spending their money that they've earned is fun. Yeah, like what? What are you trying to say? That makes no sense. Huh?
In my opinion, and losing.
Now, if we're talking about spending money on taxes to give to the government, obviously that's not fun. But if I'm spending money on something I enjoy, then that means I'm having fun.
For some reason felt like it was ramped up, maybe because of the 25-75 on the weapon banner or whatever it is. I didn't like that feeling, and
I agree with
any
Mtash
game
here,
that has
right?
gacha.
Like, for anybody that's talking about this like gacha part, like I agree with Mtash. The gacha feel like any gacha, I think where you can fucking just lose multiple 50-50s and there's no carryover pity, it feels like shit, right? So like I agree with him. The feeling sucks. Especially when, you know, like it kind of, and to be fair, it feels worse for him because he had the experience where he got Levitain like 10 rolls before the fucking 120 pity. So like it would have been optimal for him there if he just lost it to like fucking Gilberta or Yvonne or anything else, right? But instead he got Levitain, so he lost the 120 pity. Right? Like, there's a theoretical world where he would have lost that 50-50, 10 pulls before the guarantee, gotten, like, something else, and then gotten Levitain as well. But, like, you know, so, like, the gacha does feel really stinky sometimes. Like, it kind of makes you feel like ass.
In it is just instantly going.
To be fair, his account became stacked in that one pity as it was. True, he did get a lot of fucking 6 stars. But I'll say this, chat. I think that doesn't really matter to some people, because I'm sure there are a lot of you in here where you could get every fucking 6 star under the sun, but if you didn't get the 6 star you wanted, that drew you to the game, you might quit. Am I wrong to say that? I feel like a lot of people have a specific target that they really want that made them play the game. If you don't get it, it doesn't matter if you got every other fucking standard character or every other character. You're not interested, you know? So like at the same time, I could see how in Mtash's position it could still feel ass. Doesn't matter if he got 4 or 3 or 4 or 6 stars, right? The fact that none of them were something that interested him, right? It could still feel bad. Funnily, how Dragon Ball Legends finally added a pity for the highest level characters, but if you get that character before you hit the pity, you cannot claim it anymore. What the fuck?
I can't believe Fob is watching not one but 2 Mtashed at the same time on stream. This guy really loves Mtashed, isn't he? Gacha.
Whoa! Maybe he should try playing the next big game in his own time as a normal player, not a content creator, to see if he's actually capable of enjoying gaming. Well, I think Mtash said in the previous like life video update he had where like he was playing some games off stream, right? And just enjoying it. So I think he does have stuff, but it's just like games that he doesn't want to make content off of. What game? I think it was was it Silk Song? I think it was Silk Song. Yeah, I think he said something about like he didn't want to stream Silk Song because he didn't want to have to like talk on stream. He just wanted to sit down and grind, you know? I don't know if he actually did, but
going to be worse. I don't think that these systems make the games better in any way. I think that this game had quite a bit of potential, and if it was just like a good RPG game, I think this game is getting like some hype, some big hype. But people get screwed on this. There's the factory stuff. There's, you know, running around and getting mushrooms, and I'll say it again, I think it just makes the games worse. So I know that I'm not like the biggest Gacha fan, but I think there are some really good things here in this game, like genuinely good things, and they either got missed, overshadowed.
I feel like you and Mtash need to get in a call at some point, Lamau. The funny thing is, I think Mtash 100% knows I react to his videos because we've talked in DMs a bunch. And like I've talked to him before about his videos too. So like it's not like we haven't talked, right? I've talked to him. But so like part of me wonders sometimes if it like when he uploads a video, he's like you know, like knows that I'm gonna be reacting, but like I don't know.
Or
yeah, there's been times where Mtash has straight up been in my chat while I react to his videos. So, wouldn't the #1 last right main have P5? Fuck you, Fub Gun.
Reduced in their overall impact and hype. When I put
Fob is biggest Mtash fan. Okay, low key, chat. I've said this multiple times. I actually think Mtash is hilarious. I don't know if he means to be hilarious. The way his videos like pan out in terms of sequential order and takes, sometimes it gets really funny. You know, like one of my favorite parts was the Stella Sora incident where he fucking absolutely dunked on Stella Sora and then they sponsored him to fucking retry the game. I'm like, what is happening? The fuck is this shit? And then the absolute hilarity after we reacted to that video, and then I tuned into Mtash's VOD on stream, and then immediately one of the chatters, because he got sponsored to retry the game on stream, and then I tuned into that VOD, and then someone came into his chat and said, "Hi, Mtash, would you recommend this game to me?" He's like, "No, don't do it, man." I'm like, wait, what? Bro, this is like the first 2 hours of trying the game again after they asked you to try it. And you like, that shit is fucking comedy, bro. Like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I think Mtash is fucking hilarious. Like, it's a different level of comedy where I don't think he's doing it on purpose, but it's like, it's there, you know? So, I don't know, man. I still think his content's funny. You're a fucking fan, bro? Hey. Don't be mad. Literally said, don't even bother. Yeah, but like, that's hilarious, dude. That's why I think Mtash is a funny guy. Like, call back to his Klee trilogy back in Genshin. You know? Like, bro, that was one of the funniest shit in like the Genshin content creator space back then. That was fucking hilarious. But anyways.
Everything together. I enjoyed playing this game. But there is one thing that is in the back of my mind. Do I want to keep playing? Do I care what the third region is? do I care what the next banner character
The third
is?
region probably
Do
would
I
have been
want
Japan,
to
but now it's
deal
gonna be like
with the FOMO and the
not Japan.
events and logging in daily so that I can use my energy? And at the current state of the game, the answer is not really. For whatever reason, even though I very much enjoyed playing this game and put in more hours than I think a lot of people expected, I don't have this addiction or urge to really keep grinding. I may play a little bit more, but as the days have continued on, beyond day 5 and 6, I just haven't
It might
really
be
had the
Slavic
urge to play.
regions.
And I'm
Ooh.
actually behind a little bit right now because I have not been playing. And I think that that's okay. I think you're allowed to play a game and enjoy it for as long as you can, and you shouldn't have to get married to these gacha games to be called a fan or to play them. I don't think you have to log in for a year.
Oh my god, finally, bro. And Mr. Poke was like awakening to this as well yesterday. Bro, it's about time some of these other gacha streamers realize tourism is just fine. Okay? Like you can tour multiple places. And you know, when something hot's happening, just hop back in. You don't have to be a CC that only covers that, right? Like, head tourist speaking? Yes, sir. Number one tourist reporting for duty right here. I'm just saying, man, there's just so many things. And I think, right, lots of gacha games have specific
And
moments.
Fob had
when-
an under-the-table agreement where Fob would suddenly bring up his latest upload or some paid chatter link in the video. Then he criticize his video on stream. That, in turn, made chat want to hate watch and leave nasty comments on the video, but little did they know, it only boosted the views pondering dokes.
Well, to be fair, most of MTash videos, before we react, whenever we check the comment section, it's already a wasteland. But, like, I think it is really true for gacha games that a lot of their biggest peaks of interest or like their most fun moments are at beginning of certain patches, you know? So like there's no reason for you to stick around and play every single day of every patch as a content creator all the way till like the last days of it, you know? Like you could just hit up the newest banner, hit up the newest patch update, maybe there's some fun events, hit that shit up, finish it, or maybe not, just try it once or twice and then, you know, move to the next one. Like you don't really have to get married to it. So, bro, that shit is a minefield, frame 1 because people already is routine. Yeah. Look at his top right UI. The guy hates collecting rewards. Okay, to be fair though, so do I. I'm pretty sure mine's pretty bad too. Look at that shit up there, bro. I got all okay, to be fair, I just haven't clicked these yet because I just logged in. I haven't done anything but reacting. But yeah, you guys know my other gachas. I'm usually pretty bad about fucking getting rid of the marks.
And 2 years, I don't think if they can keep you, you should stay. And a lot of these games, I think, need better core loops long term if they want
What's our
to
authority
keep
level?
me
I'm halfway
and
to 54.
make me stay. I know that once this map is fully explored, there's nothing really else to do. When I run out of quests, there isn't any long-term loops that are good. And the big thing
He's not
here is
wrong.
they don't
There's no
really
combat
have an
event right now, or
endgame.
combat
They don't have
mode.
an endgame at all. And I honestly want to touch on it because one of the systems that is kind of endgame or replayable
It's not.
content, it's bad. This
It's not
game
endgame.
mode
This is an
may be
endgame.
one of the worst game modes I have ever played in a video game. It is such an unhinged, disjointed mess, in my opinion. I cannot recommend this to anyone. I did not
Yeah,
like
like
this
this
at
mode
all.
is like
It's a bit of a
this mode is like
roguelike
the
with
mobs are all like fucking level 50 and it's like goofy. They're pretty much one-shottable and like it kind of revolves around exploring the area within time frames and then keep unlocking areas and then moving forward and then collecting loot that you specifically need to hand in for the missions. And it's like it's not that fun. You know, it's kind of whatever. Not the biggest fan of it. That's why I haven't done it since the tutorial. So yeah,
bit of an evolving story as you progress through this
calling
zone.
it extraction
but
is
for
a
the most
mockery.
part, you
Well,
don't-
technically it is an extraction because you loot stuff within a time and then it fucking extracts you out of it. So by the strictest definition, it is an extraction. Yeah, the
in,
mobs here are very, very squishy. They are a joke. So
do a little task, come out, go in, do a little task, come out, and eventually you're going to start opening up different areas. But for the most part, with the kind of sanity system that they've got in it, you can only do so much exploration before you're booted out. And with the kind of inventory management that they have, as you pick up items, you're going to run out of inventory space. And you can expand on this, all right? There is stuff that you can expand on this, but it is so painfully boring. I can't. I don't want to progress. I don't even want to touch this anymore. I think that this is a terrible system. It was so unengaging that I fell asleep midstream. Not actually, but it was one of the things where I realized I just don't know. I just don't know if I'm going to love this game long term, because if this is one of the game modes that they are offering, they've missed the mark, and it doesn't put a ton of confidence in me long term. I think there is some good stuff in Arknights Enfield, but I do not think that this is an amazing game. I do not think that this is something that's going to honestly last very long for many people. I don't think that it has the staying power as some of the other games,
10 standard
but
goals,
you can also look at games
well
like
as,
Wuthering Waves
some
that
currency.
continue to improve on itself and has carved out a nice spot in this niche. I think that Arknights Enfield needs a lot of work, and I think it needs more content. It felt like it was very quick to get through a lot of the content that was available. And while I did enjoy my time with the game, I was almost never blown away. It was one of these games where I just felt whelmed the whole time. It was like a 6 or 6.5 out of 10 if you're not taking like a 7.0 as a bad game. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're looking at the grand scheme of things, if we're looking at the worst game ever is like Gollum Middle Earth is like a 0 or 1 out of 10. This is aeons better than that. But is it amazing? No. And, I always critique gacha games because, again, I think that gacha games, they ruin themselves being gacha games. Even though Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact, I know everyone might not like them all, but you can't deny that they're big, good games. They're instantly like a 7 out of 10 or even 6.5 out of 10 compared to other traditional games in a lot of cases because they're actively trying to frustrate you. They're actually, trying to make you spend money in a lot of cases. So I think that this game is like a 6 if Wuthering Waves is a 7. It kind of vibe. If you're understanding my scaling of it, I think that they have a lot there. And as a free game on your phone, I mean, come on, there's a lot of content here. I just don't feel like singing its praises. Man. I don't feel like I gotta get more in me and play more. But again, that may be fatigue of the genre. It might be because I feel like I've done some of these things so many times before. So that's kind of it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye.
So, Mtash said, wait, wasn't it not a tweet? He said he had one more in him. Oh, I have one more in me. I'm going to try and cover. Okay. So will Mtash be back for NTE? Azure Premier. Was this the last Mtash Gacha game?